presentation, I am going to invite from LL.B. 6th semester. Lalit, please share your views.
Thank you, Mona Madam, for your nice introduction. And good morning, everyone. I want to actually start my submission with two confessions. First one being that when I first got to know about our today's chief guest, someone who has vast experience in international law area, I felt a positive pressure. And basically, he is someone who is vastly experienced in this area. So I wanted to speak well and I wanted to speak relevant on this topic, as this topic is not as easy as it appears. So this is my humble submission. My second confession relates to the topic itself. When I first read the topic, it did not interest me much when I was chosen to speak on this topic, as this topic appeared to me somewhat off-beaten. However, later when I started researching into the topic, I got really drawn into it. And I must say, it has left a lasting impact on me. Also now I can say with much confidence that this topic has a lot of relevance, but unfortunately it has not attracted much attention in the past, especially from academia, as it has not been a very mainstream topic. And for this, one person deserves a special mention, who is the convener of today's webinar, Professor for proposing this topic and exposing us students to a new dimension in the area of rights of child. Responsible for this transformation of mind that is from low-key interest to a lasting impact, which also provided as a catalyst for conducting my research, is due to such an impactful poster chosen for today's webinar. The look of this girl on the poster, looking straight into one's eyes, speaks 1,000 words and also poses 1,000 of questions. One among them is, hey, what can you do for my plight? This really shook me from within and also motivated me to further research into the topic. Now, coming to the moot question, I have divided my submission into three broad parts, starting with first, why commemorate this day, secondly, identification of the problem, and thirdly, suggesting some solutions as well. So I first start with why commemorate this day. Now the first natural question which came to my mind is why commemorate this day when already there are so many international days observed by UN and its agencies. Moreover, as it happens usually with anyone who is not directly related or affected with the issue, and so it happened with me as well. As a result, I tried to find answer to two basic questions related to this, which are why children should get the spotlight. The answer lies in the fact that children are most vulnerable of the vulnerable groups, for the primary reason that violence against children often goes unseen, unheard and unreported. I believe this is amongst the worst forms of crimes against humanity and a grossest form of injustice, as these innocent children are suffering because of the war which they have never even started at their own will. Second question was, why should this issue affect me or bother me? After all, my country is not at war with anyone. The answer lies in a very strong statement given by Martin Luther King Jr., which goes like, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. As I already discussed, this is the grossest form of injustice. I am sure no human would want this happen to any child, be it one's enemy child also. When you see an innocent and helpless child cry in front of you, your all biases with respect to race, religion, caste, tribe, etc., they are all melt away. Now moving over to the second part, that is identification of the problem. Since we can now appreciate the importance of this initiative, let us try to understand in brief about how this problem impacts children. Although it is a very sad, but in reality, this problem affects children in more than one ways. The 6 most common violations against children are recruitment and use of children in war, killing of children, sexual violence, abduction, attacks on schools and hospitals, and denial of humanitarian access. Now moving on to the last part, that is suggesting some possible solutions. We all know that globally UN has not been able to achieve an objectives in this area completely. It is so ironical, rather unfortunate, that back in 1982, when UN was appalled at the great number of Palestinian and Lebanese children victims of aggression, it decided to commemorate 4th June of each year as the International Day of Children Victims of Aggression. The world is currently witnessing a war around the same geographical area wherein hundreds of children have become victims of war. However, this does not mean that the efforts have gone in vain and we cannot do anything. So here is what ought to be done. As regards the government, it may be noteworthy that the work carried out under this initiative is broadly under the guidance of Convention on the Rights of the Child, UNCRC 1992, and India is a signatory to it and has also ratified the same. So India can at its part try to convince other state parties to ratify this convention. Now coming to the issue as to what we as individual can do. I found out that we can register or add our voice by using the hashtag #ActToProtect and become part of this global initiative. By using this hashtag, we would not have just shown our solidarity for this humanitarian cause, but also would have made a real difference, as these days, hashtags are a very powerful tool in the hands of an individual. And Black Lives Matter is a point in case which became such a powerful movement that it played a big role in toppling the regime in USA. This hashtag is an initiative by the Office of the Special Representative of the Secretary General for Children and Armed Conflict, which came into being in year 1996. By this initiative, we can, amongst other things, stay informed and share news about what is happening to children growing up in countries affected by conflict, remind warring parties that world has long agreed that all children must be protected, and encourage international community to give attention to and resources for the protection of children. Before I conclude, I am just taking a small liberty to show this hashtag on screen so that those of us who are moved by this issue in the same way as I am can at least show solidarity with this cause. Thank you. Here is the hashtag. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lalit. A very thought-provoking, a very fact and figure were included